Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to my channel, Tarot by Bronx. This is Tarot Talk. These are Tarot Tings, and I'm your host, Boogie down Bronx, and I'm here to take care of the spicy Pisces. If you're new to the channel, welcome. This reading can resonate for you if you have Pisces as a Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, or South Node sign. Sorry, I was just trying to look at my microphone and see the volume. Quick shout out to my brand new t-shirt. I know you can't really see it from here, but it says generator on it. Shout out to the artist. I tagged her in the description box on Etsy under all of her custom artwork. I had her make custom designs for the different human design types. So there's generator, projector, reflector, manifest generator, manifester, all on my Etsy shop. Link is in the description box down below, but this is the generator one. I just got it today. I was so freaking excited. So shout out to her. I think it's Jay Alexander, but all that stuff will be on Etsy. You can go check out the shop, as well as some back in stock items. A lot of you have been asking me about my everyday clearing spray. I use this before readings to cleanse the energy, as well as after. I usually spray. It's on Etsy. It's back on my website. And then abundance oils will be back in stock soon as I get some more bottles to make the oils. Okay. So yeah, check out the Etsy shop. It has all the merch as well as the products. All right. So Pisces, I hope you guys have been doing well and adjusting to Saturn and Pisces. How has Saturn and Pisces been treating you? Do you feel differently? Is it your Saturn return? Do you feel like more grounded? What are you guys feeling? Let me know in the comments as well. So let's flip over the blunt truth and see what it is you need to hear right now. And I'm going to start most likely doing my human design messages in the beginning, because a lot of you said that y'all like it in the beginning better than at the end. So we'll play around with it. You have new love on the horizon. Have you been looking for love? And then you have protect your peace. All right. Okay. Well, let's clarify the protect your peace for, you're not ready. Tried to flip out. I'll just put that there. Protect your peace. What is protect your peace in regards to? Oh, what the? Protect your peace in regards to for Pisces. Okay. You have honor your boundaries at the bottom. And then you have ancestors pleased. All right. So there could potentially be some things that try to pull you off of a path. Here we have you're not ready. So, you know, if you tend to like get sucked into drama, or you tend to like, you know, get distracted easily, you may have some issues there. But you have ancestors pleased. So your ancestors are pleased with the amount of progress that you've been making thus far, at least. All right. So let's pull a shadow work card here. This is my new shadow work deck to see what it is we need to kind of expound upon. What is the shadow work for Pisces? The Hangman. That, I don't know, so many weird noises outside my apartment. The Hangman is you. I turned right to the page. The Hangman represents knowing sacrifice when we realize we must accept a short-term difficulty for a long-term gain. The Hangman archetype, the act of devotion, surrender, and sacrifice. Forgiveness is also a message contained with this card. Upright, knowing sacrifice, change in perspective, and patience. So the funny thing about it is the Hangman in the tarot is actually correlated to Pisces, the sign of Pisces. So I feel like your shadow work is knowing exactly what you are supposed to be sacrificing and who you're supposed to be sacrificing for. Pisces is known as a self-sacrificing zodiac sign. And so therefore, a lot of you guys are in this place where you are learning a lot more discernment. And I feel like this is thanks to Saturn in Pisces. You're learning a lot more discernment about who you're supposed to sacrifice for, what you're sacrificing. A lot of you just make countless, numberless sacrifices for people who don't deserve it, who aren't worthy of it. And you sacrifice your character, you sacrifice your values, your morals for people. And so a lot of you all, when it comes down to relationship stuff, you're learning to protect your peace, and therefore you are rewarded with a very pleasant, a very reciprocated new love energy. So that can be new love as far as a friendship goes, a business partner goes, a romantic interest goes. But a lot of you are learning, okay, if I want to have like a real relationship, or I want to have meaningful connections in my life, I have to learn that me sacrificing myself does not mean that I'm going to get love back from anybody. And I don't have to do that in order to get love back. And so therefore, protecting your peace, a lot of you have learned that you need to sacrifice in order to be loved. And that is simply not true at all. It's not. So relearning those things there. Okay. All right. So we will keep that in mind, and let's get into it. We'll talk a little bit more about the human design aspect of it as well, and then we'll go into the tarot. So let's see. For Pisces, what do we have for protect your peace for Pisces? Where does Pisces need to protect their peace? You have long term. Tell us more about where Pisces needs to protect their peace. Crying or release. With the Hangman energy, tell us more for Pisces, please. You have guilt. Tell me more about, you have ex or past love. Protect yourself from the past energy. Okay. Forgiveness. That was also just mentioned in the... A lot of you guys, like, you have this very soft spot for people where people are able to really either guilt trip you, or you kind of like allow people back in your life because you see them as victims in a sense. Okay. Virgo and Pisces, I know I compare y'all all the time, but it's the access of service and healing. So a lot of you all attract the strays, you attract the broken birds, you attract people that need that healing from you, and they want that healing from you. And a lot of you feel like that is your job, like that is your destiny, to like heal people and heal the collective. But with that Saturn influence, it's about being more strict and disciplined. And it's like, that is a gift. That is not something that you're meant to just give out freely without any like boundaries all the time, and then you're left with nothing. Or you give it in hopes of getting that in return, and it's not necessarily being selfless at that point if you're expecting something in return. So before we get into the cards, we'll break down a little bit in a human design standpoint. If you don't know what your type is, you can go click the link in my description box and look at your type. But for projectors, like projector Pisces placements, a lot of you all get very, very caught up in like wanting that validation from people, wanting that recognition from people, and like doing anything you can to get them to see you, fully see you, and love you and notice you and appreciate you. And you end up sacrificing all of these things only to end up bitter and resentful of the person or people. Especially this can be family too. You have family or family issues that do not honor you. They don't see you. And then you end up like feeling very angry and bitter about it. So it's about looking at protecting your peace towards people that expect you to save them. They expect you to sacrifice yourself for them, and they make you feel guilty when you don't, or you just feel guilty in general for not doing it. Generators, people come to you, manifesting generator as well. People come to you expecting your response, right? They try to trigger you. They try to get you to help them. And anybody that comes towards you, you don't have to heal them. You don't have to help them if it doesn't feel right to you, if you don't have the energy. All right. That you're not meant to just be here and giving out all your energy because you have the energy to give. You have to be more like selective with who you're giving that energy to, or you're going to end up burnt out. You're not supposed to be burnt out. Manifestors, you're meant to protect your peace as well. Peace is your signature theme. Opposite of anger. So peace is something you always need to strive for. If people like are demanding more of you than you can offer, or they're making you feel bad, or they're trying to control you, when you're telling them like, I need this time to myself, I need space, I need this, I need that. If it's repelling them, keep them at a distance from you. Whenever you inform, whenever you let them know like what you need, if they can't do it, if they can't honor that, respect it, they need to go. Okay. And reflectors, protecting your peace as well, because reflectors, people will always project onto you as well about like what they think you can give, because you're such a mirror and you reflect back what people like need to see and hear about themselves, people will always come to you saying, oh, reflector, please help me, please save me, please help me get grounded. And that's not your job. Okay. And a lot of you will feel guilty for putting up that boundary. And you're afraid, for a lot of you, reflectors and all the types in general, like you guys are afraid of that rejection, feeling like without sacrificing something of myself or like being what these people need me to be, will I be rejected? Will I still be accepted? Right? So reflectors have this deep wound about being invisible as well. So a lot of you have learned ways to get attention by giving and sacrificing yourself. And that's not the way we need to do it. So all that to say, let's get into the cards here. Because you have this rejection card at the bottom. You have long term, you have crying or release, you have guilt. So like I said, a lot of you are in this place here. You have new love coming in, like real love, like real relationships, real friendships, real, like the real deal. All of the stuff that you had previously that wasn't working out for you, you have to let it go. You have to move on from it. A lot of you are newly single, or you possibly will be single soon. But like there's a lot of things that you learned, the ways to approach love that are not healthy. They're not right. They're not the correct way. And so at first you are going to feel not ready for the real thing, right? You're going to feel very guilty for setting boundaries, for walking away, because it's kind of like, again, you've taken on this martyr role with all of your relationships where you're like, well, if I don't save them, who's going to save them? If I don't help them, then who's going to help them? If not me, then who, right? So this savior complex. And trust me, these people can save themselves. You have to learn to let people crash and burn and save themselves. And it's like, in a sense, you look for people to save because you wish people would save you like that. And so therefore it's like this whole cycle of like feeling bad for not being able to help, not being able to rescue them or fix them. And so letting that go, crying or release, knowing that that is not sustainable. That's not a long-term love. That's not healthy. That's codependency, to be saving or trying to fix somebody here. Right. And especially family. Family is the one that's going to make you feel like super duper duper guilty about this, because you're like, what if something bad happens? What if I'm not there? What if? But it's like you have to learn that we're all in control of our own free will. Like you cannot stop anybody or do anything. It's not your fault. Whatever happens, you have to let people learn for themselves and make their own mistakes. Okay. Which is why I could be saying that you're not ready. Like as much as you want like this new love, you want these new things. You're really trying, you're getting there, but some of you are still not in this place where you are strong enough yet, or you have strong enough boundaries with exes, with past family members, with old friends, where you're still looking for those relationships where you feel like the savior in it. You're still looking for those relationships for people that make you feel validated, that like the rejection and acceptance, like they reject you, then they take you back, because it gives you this sense of like being needed. And a lot of you need to learn to let that go, because that is not real. Okay, that is not real love. You'll never feel seen or heard or felt enough. And a lot of you are not ready to learn how to like just love and be open by just being you. You're still in this position of like hangman energy, making these endless sacrifices for people who don't deserve it, and then ending up upset about it. And you continue to stay in this cycle. But it's like you have to stop that and be more selective with what you're sacrificing and who you're sacrificing for. But yeah, you have soulmates. So there's going to be a very significant connection here with this new love coming in for you. But like, you know, are you ready to retire the savior role? Many of you don't even know who you are, like without saving people, without sacrificing yourself. You're like ready to just give it all up for people that either you don't know well enough or they don't deserve it. And why? It's like you have to get to that root of that. So what is the advice here for Pisces? You have earth sign. Could be an earth sign coming towards you. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or an earth sign is one of which you need to let go of. but I feel like this could be a new energy that will help you and ground you. You have time apart. What is the advice for third party? What is the advice for Pisces? You have not worth it. You have job loss or decrease. Happiness, interview, manager, angel numbers or guidance. And then you have no at the bottom, saying no more often. I see that you're going to have to cut ties first or cut your losses first, whether that be in a relationship or a job, because there's something that you've been sacrificing a lot for, not getting anything in return, not getting much back, not worth it. It's not worth continuing to sacrifice. Protecting your peace means to stop sacrificing yourself for others, especially with expectancy of getting that same thing back. It's like having to learn, like, what does healthy sacrifice actually look like? And there's a lot of like trial and error with that for you guys at this time. But time apart is very important. Affair or third party, trying to prove your worth to somebody that's unavailable, or you ending up in these dramatic third party situations. It's not worth it. You have interview and you have manager. A lot of you are going to be moving towards new positions in career soon. Okay, but it's like thinking long term and getting past this guilt of not being a savior, basically, and not, helping people, so to speak. That's not your identity. Like, your identity is not savior. So a lot of you have made saving others your identity, and like needing to fix people and be the one that people like always rely on, and allowing people to be codependent on you and you being codependent on them. It's like, yeah. So that's what we're at. All right, let's kind of wrap this up here for Pisces at this time. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, and South Node. One thing for Pisces to surrender. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, and South Node. Okay, surrender to your soul's path and surrender to your full power. Your life's calling for you to step into your full power rather than playing it small. Surrender to your soul's path. Your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment. That's what we got for you there. Okay, so yeah, last bit of advice for Pisces. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, and South Node. What is the last bit of advice for Pisces with this energy here? Here's the last bit of advice for Pisces. Last for Pisces, you have Two of Cups, Six of Pentacles in reverse. There's an energy of like needing to be more stingy. You need to be, less giving or more selective with your giving here. Okay. So you have Two of Cups. Two of Cups, like there's a very loving energy that's coming around you or coming towards you, or it's already around you, just not really seeing it like that yet. But believe it or not, people can love you just for being yourself. People will love you without having to do a thing for them. There are people out there like that. It's just when you approach every relationship with like, I'm just going to give my all without even knowing this person, without like them earning my trust, without anything, like there's no boundaries for it. That is when you get taken advantage of. And so Pisces, you guys get taken advantage of a lot because of that. And you empathize with people so deeply, and you take in these strays, and you feel bad for people. But it's like everybody has their own problems. And just because people come from abusive backgrounds, or they have mental illnesses, they got trauma, they have disabilities, that does not give them an excuse to be a bad human being, to be an evil person, to hurt you, to abuse you. And a lot of you have been taking on that abuse, or you've been taking on the bad treatment, because it's like, oh, I'm making excuses for these people. They've been through this and they've been through that, and I got to empathize with them and this and that. No. You can wish them well from a distance, but you don't have to be a part of their life. You don't have to be a part of that energy. And so therefore, the more you start to like, take your energy back and you're like, I don't have to deal with this. I don't have to sacrifice myself for people, is when this new love comes in, and it really teaches you that like you can have a selfless, love where you don't have to give your all. You don't have to give up everything. I mean, you don't have to like trade in your values and morals for love and like be abused in order to get some attention type of thing. Six of Pentacles in reverse. So it's just about withholding things more, keeping some things to yourself until people show you that they value it, or only give a little at a time. Like give a little bit and see how people do with it and see if it's reciprocated. Not just like bask in all the potential of like, oh, well, this looks promising, I'm just going to give everything up. That's not very smart at all. It's not. That is how you literally get everything taken from you, and then you end up angry about it later on because you're like, I give so much, but nobody told you to give that much. You decided that you were going to give everything up front and give it all and be super open and super trusting from the first 5 seconds of meeting somebody. It's just about learning to like space out your energy and how you transmute it and how much you give and how much you receive and, all those things. So, where'd that deck go? Oh, what's the Seven of Swords about to close out for Pisces? What's the Seven of Swords? Strength card in reverse. Yeah. At first, there could be some wavering self-esteem issues, or there's struggles that you have with holding back, right? You're just like so all in, all or nothing all the time. So you have to, practice patience. You have to practice more restraint when it comes down to like, before you're just willing to like, it could be in the form of like love bombing as well. And love bombing is a form of manipulation, but it doesn't always have to come from a place of malice or like a bad place. Like a lot of people love bomb because they have a fear of being abandoned. So it's like you give everything to a person before you even know them because you don't want them to leave. But that does not guarantee that they will stay. Okay, that's not really stable or solid. All right, so that's what we got here for you, Pisces. Pretty deep kind of reading. If this reading resonated for you, please let me know down in the comments down below. Like, comment, share, and subscribe so the channel can thrive. I am at Tarot by Bronx on everything.